All right. Hello, everyone who are listening around the world. My name is Kim, your host for Historia Podcast. And today we have Jhudely Casa from Cambodia. Good afternoon. Good morning. Good morning to you,
Good
Jhudely. How are you
morning.
today?
Good morning, Kim. Yes.
Yes.
I'm great. How about you?
Oh my god, I'm doing awesome right now. My morning's great. I just had my breakfast. Haven't had my coffee yet, but I will later. So and you look absolutely sensational. So all right.
That's good to hear. Oh, thank you. You look great. Also, it's good to see you like for a very long time.
Yes, good to see you
Feels
as well.
kind
Like
of.
it's been years since we last seen each other personally, right? Probably two
Yes, I
years, three
think that was
years. I don't know.
yeah, 3 years ago.
Go.
I
Yeah,
went
and that.
home to the Philippines, but you weren't there. We haven't seen each
Oh,
other.
oh my! So this is gonna be a very exciting episode because tonight or today we will
Mhm.
be covering about your journey, your life as a teacher
Mhm.
in Cambodia, right? So Cambodia is an interesting country. It's also
Yeah.
located in Southeast Asia. So first, give us a picture of Cambodia. What does it look like? What's the environment? Um, what 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 are the places that you can go to? The best spots, or yeah.
Yes. Cambodia, actually, before I came here, I don't have any idea what it is. I just know about Angkor Wat, how great that temple is, but I myself haven't been there yet.
Yeah.
So Cambodia, I live in currently living in Phnom Penh. So it's in the city. Um, of course, as what you expect in the city, a lot of buildings,
Right.
busy people, busy traffic, everything. So but there are places that we can go to. We sometimes go to the riverside. The riverside, when you compare it to Iloilo City, it's like that. Like you can go beside the river and then just have a walk or a jog. It's like that. Yeah, and you can ride a boat going to the other part of
Wow.
Phnom Penh. And the transportation we usually I usually use tuk tuk. I ride tuk tuk every day, but it's like
Great.
the new modernized tuk tuk. Yeah, so that's the mode of transportation here. There's no jeepney, so you have to get a tuk
Tuk-tuk.
tuk
What's
every
a tuk-tuk?
day.
What's a tuk-tuk?
It it's like the tricycle
Oh, I
kinda
see.
Cambodia. It's originally from Thailand, I guess, if I'm not mistaken. But it's a modernized one, so it's they called it rickshaw. I don't know. So the real one is very big, and there's one motor, and then there's like uh how do you call it? Like you ride at the back. Just like
Oh,
a
I see.
tricycle,
One wheel
but the
in
driver
front.
is in front. Yeah, well, the driver is in front, and then the what you call it, I don't know.
Okay, yeah, two wheels at the back. Okay, I got it. And then
Yeah,
passengers at the back.
I will send it. I will send a picture of that to you.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
really bad in
yeah. There's
describing.
some. There's some here in the Philippines for sure. Yeah, there's
Yes,
some. Yeah.
and I think you have there already this modern tuk tuk in Iloilo.
All
I saw
right.
one.
That's amazing. Phnom Penh, right? It's in Vietnam.
Again, please.
Am I correct? Phnom Penh,
Phnom Penh, Cambodia.
Cambodia.
Cambodia, Cambodia's
Oh,
capital.
Okay, okay, okay. Gotcha.
Where I'm in the
I
capital
thought it
city.
was in Vietnam. Oh my god, terrible in
But
geography.
it's okay because Cambodia and Vietnam are like uh beside each other. You
Yeah,
can go to Vietnam through bus. You can
yeah,
ride a bus going to Vietnam.
yeah. So close. Like. You can travel to, when you go to Vietnam or Cambodia, you can also travel by land. In
Yes, by
Thailand,
land.
right? In
Yeah,
Laos.
also you can, yes, you can travel going to different places by land if you're coming from Cambodia.
Wow,
It's
that's
fun before. Now you
yeah.
cannot.
Yes, of course, because of the lockdowns and
Yeah,
everything. So for sure,
travel plans is off.
yeah, travel bans. You can't go to another country unless you
That's
have
right.
travel passes or whatever. So yeah, now since you're teaching there in Cambodia, how is it different to the
Mhm.
Philippines? How different is it?
Um, in terms of management, it's very different. I'm not really different, but of course there are really differences when it comes to managing a school or teaching in a school because they have different beliefs or culture than us. So um, we have to adjust to their culture.
Yeah,
For example, you cannot pray in the Philippines, right? We before we
right.
start our class, we pray. We start our day with a prayer, thanking the Lord.
Yeah,
But of course, it's Cambodia, and most people here are Buddhist, and we're not a Catholic school, so
right.
it's different. So you just start a day like greeting each other, and then you have to be aware of their customs. Like um, there's not much, but yeah, I really cannot differentiate it because the way I teach here is kind of the similar to what I do
Mhm.
in the Philippines back then. So just the I mean just the just the language maybe it's hard
Yeah,
to teach them, especially young kids because they're really not good in English or haven't learned English yet. So you have to learn the basic Khmer words or commands so that they will
right.
follow you. And oh yeah, there is a difference. Oh, I forgot. Um, there we have a teacher assistant in our classes.
Oh,
So in the
that's
Philippines, right, you manage a whole bunch of kids, like 30 of them by yourself.
mm.
Here you have like one or two teacher assistants. They're
Oh, okay, that's
Cambodians and they can speak to the child. If you have something to say to the child and the child cannot understand you in English, they will like translate it for you and help you in your class.
wow.
It's like um they also communicate with you in English, but they communicate with the kids sometimes with
Oh, a
Khmer
live
if they don't
interpreter.
understand.
Yeah, an interpreter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they also manage your classroom. If you're not around, they will do everything for you.
Oh, I love that. I like that. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
it
Just
that's why it's kind of easy to teach because you have someone with you helping you with your work. Like I forgot to get my materials, so the teacher you just ask the teacher to get it for you, or get
right.
the workbooks of the kids, or help
Yeah.
the kids go to the toilet.
That's
Because you have to help
amazing.
them. Yeah,
Right. And now that we're pretty much in the pandemic, right? So I
yeah.
think most of you are now online, right? Online. We are now online teachers.
Um, yeah, but this month, just the beginning of January, we came back to physical classes or
Wow.
face-to-face classes. Yes, we're back. So, yeah, finally, after a very long time, we're finally back in the classroom
Wow.
teaching face-to-face. So, it's exciting.
Yeah, that's great. Pretty much in all many other countries, they're still online. Here in the
Yeah.
Philippines, it's online. People
Yes,
are
I.
doing modules, doing Zoom
Mm,
classes. So there's a lot of adjustments between the teachers and the students. So
yeah.
I think right now they're pretty much adapting into it. So it's how many months now? I don't know. So but
It's almost a year.
yeah,
It's
almost a
almost a
year.
year, Kim.
Right. So that's amazing. People are just adjusting, trying to live with it, and
Yeah,
yeah, that's
try
awesome.
to adapt to the new normal.
Correct. Right. So, how was it different to online teaching versus general education setting? How was it different?
It's very different and very difficult. I think all teachers will would agree how difficult it is be not to be able to physically see your learners or your students in the classroom. And
Right.
in the classroom, you have to be like all out energy.
Yeah.
You prepare your materials ahead of time. Now during online classes, you have to prepare like a lot of stuff, like your PowerPoint, your realia, like the real things that you have to show to your kids online.
Yes.
It's very difficult, especially in my field, which I'm teaching children with special needs. It's very challenging. It was one of the most challenging part of this pandemic, teaching children with special needs
Yeah.
online. Because as we all know, these kids really need, like, physical prompts. You have to tell them, you look at me, but you cannot do that on the
Online. Yeah.
online classes, like, I'm here, I'm here.
Yeah.
And yeah, and of course, aside from, it's very challenging for us, it's very challenging for the parent, because they don't know how would their child react to this
How would
type
they?
of classes.
Yeah.
um but good thing my kids were able to mm, achieve their our
Yeah.
goals even during the online classes. It's like, good thing, oh my gosh, thank you for cooperating during the online classes. But I'm
Wow. Like,
happy to see them online, I mean, personally. Yeah,
wow.
so they enjoy classes more now than we do online classes, because they have a lot of uh, they regress a lot during online classes, but because it's new and they cannot see me personally, I look different on the camera. So, like, who are you? I don't know you. And sometimes, they're these kids, when they wake up in the morning, their emotions are not as us, like, when you wake up in the morning, oh, I have to go to school, I have to work, or I have to attend a classes. For them, no, they have to follow a routine, so that they will go have to go through a day, so they need to follow that. And if during the transition from physical to online classes, it was really a challenge for us, because it's a new routine, and we have to manage that, with the help of their parents, because it's
Correct.
like a teamwork. So finally, good thing that
Yes.
teamwork work. I'm
Yeah,
so
that's
happy with
awesome.
I'm so happy with the cooperation of my parents for their children. Yeah,
Yay.
good thing I have a very cooperative parent.
Yeah. I really salute those bad teachers, those teachers who are teaching children with special needs, because it requires immense patience. There's a ton of patience that you have to deploy. You yourself, you have to be patient. You have to be adaptable. You have to
Mhm.
adjust to the situation, and you
Right.
really have to assess. Or really have to assess that situation, or assume the worst case scenario. What if? What if? All those what ifs, and I'm glad that you're able to handle that. And, whew.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
my job, it's
right.
the
It's
quite
really a hard job.
challenging.
That's right. Okay. Now, aside from patience, what's the
Mhm.
most
Yeah.
important trait that helped you overcome the challenges of being a teacher by far?
Wow, that's a hard question. Let me see. um, Aside from patient, well, my job requires a lot of patience. Yes, you
Yeah.
have to have like very very long one. I think it's more of the your passion teaching these children. It's kind of cliche, but for me, if you don't love these children, if you don't want them to develop their skills, I think you will not last in this field because it requires not only patience, but understanding not only the child but for their parents. That you know, um, that this is my goal. This is what I want for the child to overcome or to develop. So it really requires you know love for them, because no matter how tiring it is, if you see them a little bit of progress, you will feel like, oh, I think I should do more. So it motivates you to do
Wow.
more. For every time I look at my children, well, I call them my children. I'm still
Yeah.
young. I'm not yet married, but I call them my children. um I see the hope. So I wanted to do more. I want to help them more. So I think you need to have love for them in teaching them.
Right. That's correct. Because, you know, uh, I think, you know, nobody would last in any kind of profession without love for that
Yeah,
profession.
and for
Right.
yeah, that's right.
No, I think many other guests already said this.
Hmm.
If you don't like what you're doing,
Hmm.
then you're not gonna last. You may last probably a year or two, but in the long term, or if you're ever gonna stay, that that brings you unhappiness. Like, if there's no fulfillment if you don't love it, right? You're not
Yes,
fulfilled. You're you're, you're stuck sometimes. There's that feeling that you're stuck, right?
yeah.
Sometimes.
It's like you're inside a bubble, and when will
Yeah,
I come out like that? But
correct.
um, in the long run, I think that was my struggle back then. Is when I was new here teaching these children. It's very challenging. I cried a lot. I feel like giving up already because they're not progressing. Every day is like they're melting down in front of you. You
Oh
just had a
my.
bad night, and then when the morning comes, there goes the children. They're melting down, crying, screaming. You don't understand them because they cannot talk. They don't know what to do. So you yourself, you have to be very calm and like, yeah, we got this. Relax.
Yeah.
We
Plus
got this.
plus
We
the
can
the
do this.
language barrier, right? The language barrier. They're
Yes,
non-native
especially the
English.
lang.
Correct.
That's right. It's also one of the challenges of teachers here. Of course, we're in an international school, and some children doesn't understand English. They do, but a little. So you have to be, patient with them, and you have to overcome that,
Right.
barrier.
Amazing.
Good
That's
thing. So
correct.
far, so good.
Yeah. All right.
I'm still
So
here.
I really salute you for doing a good job there, and also your
Oh,
colleagues. I my
yeah.
our colleagues there in the theater group,
Yes.
right? Last
Yeah.
maybe
They're
last in the
here.
last few years, we've been together
Mhm.
in the same group. So you know, I was very confident that you can overcome those challenges, and there's a lot that we have gone through before, right?
Yes,
So
we've done a lot in theater.
right.
It's a lot of training. So it took like 3 years of training in theater. So when I got here, it's like, yeah, we got this. I've experienced way, way higher than this challenges that I'm experiencing now. So like,
Mhm.
we can do this. We
Yeah.
always overcome the challenges that we face. So as long as we're like together, we're a team, so we
Correct.
can get through it.
Right. That's awesome. Now, when it comes to English, how important is it, especially to non-native English speakers?
I
It's just a
think
generic question, but I wanted to ask you this: why
again,
English is important, especially to those non-native speakers?
um, aside from it, like a universal language, I
Yeah,
think we were thought that it's a universal language. That's why we need to communicate in one language that everybody understands. So here in Cambodia, it's really important because um, most people here, uh, their teachers are foreigners, so they wanted to learn the language. They wanted to communicate with others, and if I think I mean they are very good English speaker. Even on your regular days, they're very they know basic English, so it's not really hard because I think they were able to get that with talking to foreigners daily. So for them, it's really huge part of their learning that they know the language because every day they deal with not only local people but foreigners because there's a lot of tourists here
yeah, yeah.
and Filipinos. Everywhere I go, they're Filipinos.
Really, like I think they're Filipinos are just one of the largest diasporas here in the world, right? They're scattered all
Yeah.
throughout the Philippines.
You will be amazed when you go here because you will look like you're a local, but when you talk to your language, oh, Philippine.
Ah,
Yeah.
they would recognize right away. Wow, that's amazing.
Yes, but they will call you local first because I don't know, Filipinos look like you're a local.
Right.
I always get to be asked in ano in Kamay when I go to the mall. It's like, uh, uh no, no. Oh yeah, oh.
So
Like the sales
yeah.
the sales lady would say, "Oh, you're a kamay, ate, ate."
Oh, that's pretty amazing because we you mentioned that we look like the same. That's because I think that's because we are in the same continent. We are in the same
Yeah,
region, right? Which is Southeast
exactly.
Asia.
Yeah,
So and uh, uh common
feature.
appearance, or yeah, common structure of a nation is like they're short, they're
Yeah,
more than 5 feet
yeah,
tall, sometimes even lower, right? And of
yes.
course, they're pretty and beautiful, right? Uh, yeah,
I can't relate to that.
yeah. Okay, that's amazing. Now, what do you miss in the Philippines?
A lot.
Like what?
Especially, I mean, not the Philippines alone, but
Mhm.
our city.
Yeah.
I miss not the Philippines. I just miss Iloilo City alone.
Oh, that particular area for sure. Yeah.
Yes,
Your
because
hometown.
I grew up in Iloilo City. Yes, Uswag, Iloilo. I'm like,
Yeah. Shout
yeah,
out
because it's a
to
beautiful city. Like, yeah,
right.
it's a very beautiful city. It's a
Indeed.
city of love. It's where my whole life was, you know, built.
Right.
So I miss Iloilo City. The sunset in the Iloilo City river, in the
Oh
river,
my.
Iloilo River. The Esplanade, I miss Esplanade.
Yeah.
Like I talk about this a lot with my friends there. Whenever they call me, I was like, oh, I miss the place. This one, this one.
Right. And the
Yeah.
picture of the sunset, it's Instagram worthy, right? You can definitely
I
see.
actually have a lot of pictures of the sunset in my Instagram
Yeah.
from the river. We always do. I actually love taking photos of the sunset way back there, especially when I work near the Esplanade. So like every afternoon, we wait for the sun to set, and it's like, oh, let's
And
take a
take a
picture. But I only
picture
have like
or
15-minute
enjoy.
break,
Yeah.
and then take a walk at the Esplanade. It's like, oh, it's a fun thing to do, and it calms you. It gives you relaxation. If you're having a bad day, just go there, breathe some fresh air if it's fresh.
Yeah.
But
you
I
know,
like because there's a lot of trees there, right? And
right.
um there's anti-smoking law there, so you
So,
can freely walk there, and you know that the
nice.
air that you breathe is good. Unlike
Yeah.
here, I mean, not comparing, but of course, I'm in the middle of the city. So just imagine your life in the middle of the city, not much trees, unlike there, you know. And then
Right.
you cannot have like a walk like we
Yeah.
do there. You can have a walk, right? Here you cannot because there's always busy streets. I always take a walk in the riverside because it's really where they do exercises. So I go there.
Right. You know, especially in the city, there's
Mm,
this, I would call this an absence of, you know, nature, you know, absence
mm,
of natural, uh, how do you call this? But something natural, right? Because in the city, all you can see are tall buildings, uh, saw, it's already polluted, covered in smog, uh, cars all around, so it's noisy, right?
yes,
And it's it's just phenomenal how a place in the city can be, you know, can have both the nature and, you know, can mix them at the same
yeah.
time.
That's Iloilo City.
Yeah. I mean,
Built
even now I
in a
miss
lot
it.
of trees.
Yeah. Last week I just went there. I actually missed it. I really miss my lifestyle there.
Yeah,
It's, because in the city you all have access to it. You have, access to everything, right? You can,
yeah, that's right.
right. So now tell me about some of your experiences. I just want to go back with your life as a teacher. So
Yes.
tell me about your most memorable experience as a teacher, teaching those differently abled persons.
Oh, wait, let me scan. Let me check. Do I have? Because every day is like a memorable day you will never forget.
Right.
Probably when I don't know when that happened, but when we reevaluated or did the evaluation again with my first student. Um, and every time I see him, I feel amazed and how he progressed from non-verbal to now very talkative. I mean, he talks a lot, he communicates
Wow.
well, he knows what he can now say what he wants, he can say uh your name without asking him, and he remembers a lot of things. So it's kind of memorable. Every time I see that kid, it reminds me of my first day with him and my current day with him. So it's like yeah, he's like he's my how do you call it? Like not the
Yeah,
trophy, but like a reward for me. It's rewarding for me to see him
right.
every day. Like
It's
before he's like this, now look at him. It's rewarding as a
right.
kid. As we all know, this kid doesn't usually have um or doesn't progress. Like it's visible. Like, his progress is very visible. So every time I see him, I go back to those days that I really had a hard time with him. I was crying. I was telling my boss I have to resign. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm tired. And my boss said, "Can you please give me another month and month and month?" And it became years.
Oh.
So it's like something that, I have to look back to and say I was able to go through it,
Yeah.
to be patient with him. He also, not, I'm not only teaching him, but he's teaching me to be more of a person, more of a teacher that is um, helpful to any student. So he taught me patience. He's the one who made my patience this extra, extra, extra long. I was very
Oh.
patient then, but now it's extra, extra long, and very relaxed, calm. You know, so he taught me that.
Right. Especially
He
if it's
was a
your
very
first time,
challenging child.
right?
He was my first student here in
Yeah.
Cambodia. Not my very first, but my first student that really grew up with me. He's now like 5 years old. When I was with
Wow.
him, was like 2.5 or turning three that time, where he
Yeah.
just turned three that time.
There's this fulfillment, right? Because you're seeing that
Yes,
kid, you're seeing that the child become that persona that you wanted to, that he wants to be, right? From
yeah.
this guy, from this little guy, no, 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 no. Oh, it's just like, oh my, how I'm gonna deal with this, and then, oh, this is how I transformed him. I'm so proud of this guy.
Not really like transform him, like just help him to
Right. Help him transform
communicate.
into this person, right?
Yeah.
You know, having these steps to become that person, to become that better person, better version of himself.
Better.
Right.
Yes, correct. You're
Right.
rapping, Kim. Yes,
Okay.
it's
Now,
fulfilling.
rate your happiness levels from 1 to 10.
Oh, happiness level.
Yes.
Do I look like I'm happy?
Like, yeah, of course you're happy. I can
I
see that
mean,
you are
um,
now, right?
happiness is a very hard feeling to achieve, but when you're contented, you're happy. So
Right.
I'm contented, so
Ooh.
I'm happy. Yeah. Maybe tomorrow I'm not happy anymore. Well, today I'm very happy because I'm able to see you and talk to you
Right.
about stuff that I do now, like catching up with you. So I'm happy. And then yeah, today is a happy day. So it's like 10.
Yeah,
I'm
10 out of
oh wait,
10.
I just had my first cup of coffee, so it's like 10.
Wow. With coffee. I love coffee. So let's give it a 10. Yeah.
Make your day
Yeah, let's claim
wonderful.
it. Claim it a 10.
Always start
Yeah.
your day with a coffee.
Yeah. It's I started drinking coffee when I was in call center. When I was
Oh,
right.
that was
And
during college, right?
not really in college, but I started drinking because I was working at night, right?
Oh
You
yeah,
can understand
you need
the
that.
work of a call center agent. They have to work at night
Yeah,
and then sleep at
yes, I
in
do
the
understand
morning,
that.
right? So, what's your favorite kind of coffee, by the way?
I'm a hard person, so I like Americano.
The black one, black coffee.
Yeah, black coffee,
Great,
iced Americano, or like hot Americano
awesome.
every day. sugar free. Yes.
Sugar.
I think I got this habit, or like I got addicted to coffee back when we were doing theater. We have to stay up late at McDonald's. Oh, is
Right.
it okay? Yeah,
No.
'cause my house and our university is near McDonald's, so
Yeah.
we stayed up there like until
All
3 in the
night.
morning. So
Yeah.
like we have to be awake, alive, and need the the what you call this, artistic juices to be to come
Right.
out,
And
because we're
those
all like night
ideas. Yeah.
person.
The 3 a.m.
Yeah,
ideas. Right.
yeah. It's like I've been staring at my computer for or laptop for like since 9 in the evening, and then now it's 3 a.m. I got an idea. With, of course, with my team, our team, Manuela, Manang SJ, especially Manang Josel. So
Yeah,
fun.
I just want to give a special shout out to them for being,
Yes.
being my previous guest for my podcast. I just want to
Oh,
thank
you're
them.
right.
Yeah, thank you
Yeah.
for supporting me. I really appreciate you all. So, we
Yeah.
got
That's how
Amuela, right?
amazing
Manuela
these people are.
Lasagnas, episode. I don't know. I forgot which episode. Then Mom Sarah, Miss Sarah Animas, episode
Yes.
4, very first guest, very first guest. So, huge shout out to her as well, and Miss Joselle, right? Is she's
Yeah.
in Thailand right now, Bangkok Community Theater. Like, she's living
Yeah.
that dream. Wow.
Yeah. She's still there. I'm so
Yeah.
amazed.
Shout out to them.
She's
Shout
still
out to them.
there. Yeah. We were like one team. I had one more, like Jaslyn. She was with us then,
Right.
and those were like nights when Grishano was made. Our first major production after 10 years. It was like it will live with me wherever I go. Like, yeah, we mount a production this big.
Yeah.
It's like an experience that I would really talk to anyone.
Awesome.
I've been to into this theater. We did this and that and this.
Correct.
Like, just an amazing experience because it taught me a lot.
Correct.
It helped me become someone that I am right now
Yes.
with those
So,
experiences.
no, we wouldn't be like, we wouldn't like be this kind of, wouldn't have this kind of interaction if, without theater, right?
Yes, that's right. We won't have this interaction, Kim,
At
if we don't
all,
know each
right?
other through that theater. Yeah.
Right.
Yes. And I wouldn't be here if I haven't met my then just classmate to theater mate, and now they're my
Yes.
workmates. Yeah.
So, and also to all my listeners out there, just want to say, forgive us if we're sidetracking a bit, because it's just want to mention one play that we made. It's called Graciano Lopez Haina. He's a
Understand.
national hero of the Philippines, born in Iloilo City,
Yes, he's
and
our
we made, it's like a biopic, right? A biopic about him, a bio, uh
did a lot of research for that.
yeah, a lot of research, a lot of
Got to
sleepless
meet
night.
the authors of the book themselves
We have to
and the
document.
direct descendants of him.
Yes,
So it's really an amazing part of my college life.
correct.
You're still friends with them, and every time I'm bored, I sing the songs that we made,
Yeah,
and sometimes like do myself like talk to myself in like I'm in a production. I'm still in that production.
yes,
It
and you know
it's
what?
really big.
Yeah, those songs were memorable to us, especially that it's Hiligaynon and originally
The
produced
original
just for that.
composition. Can you imagine that we were able? I wouldn't have even imagine myself being a script writer for that play and researching for that. I mean, like, imagine yourself translating a deep English book, um describing the life of Cristiano, and then you translate it to your local language. Translating it to Tagalog is already hard. How much more translating it to our language, translating it to Hiligaynon with with the artistic side.
Right.
You have to make it very artistic or well articulated. It's hard, especially if you don't really talk or don't know the language well.
Yes. And you have to go back in time, right? You have to go back in the
Yeah,
20th century. You know, that kind of
you
era,
have
right?
to
Spanish.
experience it yourself. What
Yeah.
would you feel during that time? So it's really fun process. It's a fun journey to finally get that. A lot of challenges, especially during the time that we have to get the, the venue, the people to be there. It was wow, quite amazing experience.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Indeed. Right.
everything
Everything.
from just a mere like late night talks. Like, what if we will make a production, and then to being brought to different places in Iloilo, so it's really fun.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Oh
really
wow, that was like sidetrack. Okay, go back.
okay, so we're gonna go back a little bit from your life in Cambodia. Like, all right,
Mhm.
what's your best advice? Like, do you have any pieces of advice to people who might want to go to Cambodia or maybe
Or
pursue a teaching career, especially in you know to those who are differently abled or special.
um okay. So first, if you wanted to what you call this, if you wanted to work abroad, you have to be very what you call this? You have to be a risk taker. You have to risk
Right.
everything if you really wanted to go to a new country. Um, my experience was fortunate enough because I have people that I know here already. But if you don't have like someone you knew in a foreign country, that would be very challenging. So you have to be um, careful, very what's the term, mindful of what you do, and you have to be very open. You have to be a person of culture because you will be dealing with people who have different beliefs and culture, and you might be shocked on how they do stuff here or do their things here. So you have to be very open with that and very understanding, uh, respectable of their belief,
Culture. Yeah.
and yeah, and culture, especially their culture. And you have to respect that this is how they do this, and you have to adjust yourself to that. Or if you cannot do what they do, you have to be respectful on their culture.
Yeah. So I just
And
wanna in that case I
yeah,
wanna quote an old one.
uh-huh.
When in Rome, do what
Hmm.
Romans do, right? So when you're
Yeah,
in
when in Cambodia, do what Cambodians do. But sorry, I really can't.
right. It's very hard, right? Very hard given that you have your own norm, you have your own values and
Yeah,
beliefs, and you have to respect others, right?
yeah,
So it's just
that's right.
amazing, just amazing.
Mm. And I really wish or hope that more teacher or more aspiring teachers would take this field also, because it's it's challenging and it's fun. I love for those aspiring teachers who love challenges and fun at the same time. It's this field for you. No, I was just kidding. But really, if you really love children, you wanted to help them grow and develop into someone that they wanted to be. Um, please be a teacher. It's like I'm pleading, like why would people want to be a special education teacher? I too doesn't know how to be a real special education teacher. I just in the process I'm loving it because I'm one of those what you call this product of you should be a teacher from your parents. That's like you should be a teacher, and then you get this course or you went into this field not knowing what to expect.
No idea.
So yeah, no idea what is happening really. But when you're here, you have to be open with the happenings around you, the learnings, the experiences, especially that you're dealing with children with uh, different special needs. So you have to deal with that, to cope up with, uh, to make a plan for them, like individualized plan for them to be able to um, uh, function in the way that it. I mean, in the way that in the future they can do it independently or guided less by other people.
And the
Yeah.
world needs more teachers, or particular to
Yes,
those.
the world needs more teachers like us.
Yeah.
So please be a teacher. I don't know how to I don't know how to motivate people, Kim. So I was like, oh, please be one. And I mean, it's if you love kids, you like to you like them to learn from you. You become a teacher. I mean, it's really hard to choose this field because it
Passion.
requires a lot of you know you have to be very flexible, very smart, like that. I still look up to other teachers like, wow, you become a teacher because you're smart, you're flexible, you have a lot of knowledge on this field. So I still look up to those teachers. That's why I wanted to be like them. I wanted to be smart like you. I wanted to learn from you too. And it really
Fantastic.
amazes me. Yeah,
Yeah.
especially those who, it really is a passion. Teaching is a passion. It's really not just something that you get, to do because you wanted to earn money. Earning money is like important. It's very important now we're adulting,
Yeah.
Money is, yeah, everything. But when you see your students, it's more like I need to be a better person for them to learn from me, like that.
Fantastic. So there we go. That's a great piece of advice. I really love your words, Julie. Now, social media accounts. Where should we follow you on social media, Julie?
You can follow my Instagram account. It's at Hey Jude, HeyJude. Hey Jude. And my YouTube channel, I don't post regularly on that channel, but it's there. Some of my um, travel vlogs, it's like
Documenting,
yeah,
documentation.
documenting my travels, my unboxing videos of BTS albums and merch. It's there. So it's
Yeah.
Jude Casa, so JHUDE Casa,
All
CASA.
right, everybody, please follow her on Instagram at Hey Jude with letter H, JHUDE. Yeah, there we go. Hey Jude. So
Yeah.
thank you so
Hey,
much,
Jude.
Miss Jude, for being
Thank
on the
you. Thank
podcast.
you so much
I
too.
really appreciate you. It's been a long time since we had this kind of conversation. I really missed
Yeah.
it. We're sidetracking things a bit,
I
but
think
it's awesome. I love it. I
yeah.
definitely love it. So appreciate you being on. Awesome.
Yeah. Thank you also. Thank you, Kim, for having me. Though like it's just brief, like, we can talk like all night.
Yeah. All
Yeah, it's like
right.
we see, remember when we see each other, like we just talk a lot of things. But
Right.
thank you
Indeed.
for having me, and
You're welcome. And
see
you
you.
have a great day. You enjoy the rest of your day. Okay? Thank you.
Yes, you too. Have a great Sunday.
Yes.